All right, I think it's going to work this time. I think it's because I have my magic Christmas lamp tie on, of which I'm very proud. And an open door. I apologize for that. I forgot to close my office door. Look at you have a quick quiz this week of 16 questions um, over a real fun book, The Case of the Missing Servant. And I was just looking at one of the pages here on the I'm trying to remember the name of the famous Indian. It doesn't matter. Uh, the founder of detective work is the hero of Vishpuri, whom you might find to be uh, a funny guy. The Punjabs, he loved to make nicknames of people, and he has one: Tube Light, Flush, Face Cream. I'm trying to remember the name of the guy who sits by the door and he wants to keep an eye on him because he doesn't do his work properly. I've been having fun reading the book again because he is such um, a different character from anything we've had before, and it is a really, really, really popular series in India. Uh, Thinking of his name, yes, I found him. Um, Now, Vishpuri could be taken to mean the way he's changed his name is Vishpuri can be taken as a granter of wishes. At his most famous and most trying to remember the name because I love it so much. Uh, the name of his agency is just makes me laugh. Uh, is the Anyway. You'll find it. I don't think I asked that in the in the quiz, but he is very very proud of his agency, utmost secrecy. Um, Now, he where he lives, someone takes a pot shot at him, and his wife ends up solving the case, which is a lot of the fun here. The vast conglomeration of Old Delhi, uh, New Delhi, and its many suburbs has been officially renamed the National Capital Region, or as most of the newspapers call it, the National Crime Region. And he talks about where he lives and how it's been one of the big things is uh, one of the big things is that it's good for business. Now, a lot of his business is, as we find here, the case of the missing servant, whom everybody thinks is killed, but Mary isn't killed. Um, but the other one is the Indian war hero, Brigadier Kapoor, hires Puri to find if there's any negative image about the man um, who wants to marry his daughter. Uh, and and this is where you come into nice cultural differences because in India there is a third gender, and it's the hermaphrodite. And here you have it where, um, much like the American private eye, um, he lives by a code. And in this case, we'll find that Puri won't tell Kapoor that the guy is a hermaphrodite because, as the doctor tells Vishpuri, because he's taking testosterone, the boy is, that there's all different kinds of love. And these two love each other. And so you have that side of Puri where he will not um, reveal because he has his code. On the other hand, he does take a certain delight in the beginning of the book from finding out that the man that they wanted the daughter to marry because they advertise for it and then they hire investigators turns out to be a liar and a cheat and whatnot. And I think he takes special pleasure because the guy condescends to him and things like that by telling him the truth. Um, Another kind of thing that I like about him is that he has, well, it's almost, he dresses kind of like almost a British person. He loves food and he's overweight and he has a specific fondness for hot chili peppers. By the way, things the doctor tells him not to eat. Now, Mummy, the wife, who's also quite smart, and, and she kind of goes out and finds out who took the shot at her hubby when he's up in the garden area in the beginning of the book. And there's a person named Red Boots, and she follows up on Red Boots. She's also quite a good detective, and like most Punjabi women, the book is very good at math. Um, and the friends in the family call Vish Puri chubby because he is a tad overweight, maybe 30 pounds or so. But he just can't help himself. And I love it. He's afraid of his wife um, because you'll notice how much care he takes to clean himself after he's eaten, and he took fennel seed in his mouth to sweeten his breath. But of course, she knows exactly what he's doing. Now, Puri also has friends, and he has a network of people. That's one thing that you don't have in the other one. He has all these people who help him solve the crime. But he does have a friend, Renko, whom he goes to see, and he tries to forgive him, but he's worried because his friend becomes more and more corrupt in his construction business dealings. And the idea is that's the whole place is very corrupt. And if you get more into it, then you get corrupted. Now, in the book, one of the other things I like about Puri is not he's not beholden to other international detective detectives in literature. There's someone might say, well, that person is copying, in this one, this kind of writer. He does not have admiration, for instance, he tells us, for Sherlock Holmes, because he said that this one Shankaya, who lived 300 years before Christ and founded the arts of espionage and investigation. Uh, well, so he also likes to brag about himself, and the secretary says, "Oh, I know that you don't have to listen to his bragging a little bit. Not only is he overly fond, perhaps we might say, of food, but uh, he doesn't like to fly, and some of us can understand that. But the other thing he wants to hide from everybody is because he's deathly afraid of flying, and he has to be able to solve the case of what happened to Mary. So he has to go and fly, and he ends up bringing her back with her father. He gets all the information he needs to solve what had happened, the crime. Um, and the and we do see that, like Vish Puri's father was also a well-known private investigator, so he's sort of like in a line of detectives. So he's very proud of his parents and his father. Uh, yeah, he said it was Om Chandra Puri posing in his police uniform on the day in 1963 when he was made a detective. Uh, and I did. This isn't in the test, but I was, like he says, he's very proud of his operation. He's very modern, and then very, what you'd expect. Disguises all kinds of things, but it says private detectives, on the other hand, were not held in great esteem in Indian society, ranking little higher than security guards. Um, and that's at the end of the book when when there's the court case about things, and he is up against a prosecutor who's very high on himself and has a very low opinion on private investigators. And of course, Puri solves everything, and we learn what the mother had done uh, to the girl uh, after the young lady Mary tried to kill herself, and all the things that happen along the line of that when she finds out that she's pregnant, and the mother is just really nasty, and it looks like someone died there. Um, Puri's mother discovers that Red Boots, so here's another one of the corruption. The guy who tried to kill Puri is a member of the police force, and that gets taken care of internally by the end of the book. Let me see. We know that this Dr. Shadron and whatnot is um, helps, put together Mary, and we even find Puri going to the train station and asking people if they've seen this and that, and we discover through all the stuff who actually, by the end, was the one who is behind the missing servant, which I won't say. And notice that Mary doesn't try to kill herself because Bobby had gotten her pregnant. She loves him, and it's because Bobby went off to school and the mother nails her, tells her that she's worthless and all those kinds of things. So she does try to kill herself, but it's not because of Bobby, it's because of the mother. And we have Chubby has another boyhood friend, a corrupt boyhood friend, Rinku. It refers to Gupta as Diet Coke. I like that. Diet Coke. That makes me laugh every time I read that. So anyway, use your text. Find out, the correct answers as you go through, and I've pretty much given them to you and maybe truncated this video a little bit more than I do the regular ones because I've had so much trouble. Like I say, there are 16 questions, and I think you should all do very well.